Shop talk, shiny up, day, up, shop shop talk.
What is going on, everyone? It is your man Dito, and you are tuned in to another edition of Shop Talk. And you know what this is? Is everyone's favorite show right here on everyone's favorite network. We are live right here, right now, on the Shop Talk family of networks. Listen, we have so much to cover today that I don't have time to delay anything. I didn't have time for an opening song. I didn't have time for any of that, but I do have time to do this to tell you to do me a favor, get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope, Marco Polo, but do whatever you got to do to tell your mama and them, Ray Ray, Shay Shay, Day Day, Delicious them, Nut Nut them, Pojo them. Let them all know that we are live right now. We are making things happen right here on, again, the Shop Talk family of networks. We're grateful to those of you who might be watching us live here on Facebook and or YouTube. If that is you, hit us up in the comments. We want to know that you are hanging out with us. Let us know that you are a part of today's show. All you got to do is type in the comments portion of there, and we will do all that we can to put your comments on the show and do what we can to make things happen. I'm excited. I'm excited today. But before we do anything, before I do all of my normal other stuff, I need to let you know that my name is Demetrius Tollfree. How do I know? Because those of you watching me live see it right there on the screen, and you can follow me everywhere. You can follow me everywhere at D Tollfree, at DTOLEFREE. That's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. That is on Twitter, X if you still use it, and everywhere else that you like to use social media. Also, I want to let you know that listen, we're doing all that we can to make things happen, to bring the best content that we can to you, and we want to also welcome not just the people watching us live, but I want to welcome all of our radio partners. We are now a syndicated show, and we stream on several radio networks around the country, and we are grateful to all of those station managers, to all of those networks that allow Shop Talk into your ears. So we want to welcome you as well to today's show and be able to make things happen. So with that being said, we're going to get ready to get things going. But before we do, let me give my first shout out of the day to my guy who I thought would have been somewhere around here, but Ja'Cory Protho in the building virtually saying, "What up, though? Glad to have you hanging out with us." Now, matter of fact, those of you watching, if you like, those of you, you can either share today's stream or you can type in the comments and tag three people to let them know what you are watching. Why don't you do that? Why don't you tag three people and let them know exactly what it is you are watching so that maybe they can join in with us today as well. I want to give a shout out to Pastor Levon Davis out in Sacramento of California in the virtual building. Glad to have you hanging out with us, sir. Oh my goodness, we've got W. Louise Valerie. Oh my goodness, she is in the building, hanging out with us on YouTube. Looks like she's joining us probably from Ashland's page, but she is one of my friends. She grew up with me. Well, she's a couple days older than me, but I grew up with her. How about that? Anyway, shout out to Jam Johnson Holloman in the building as well. What is going on? Some of my Lily of the Valleyites in the building. Of course, we have Ashlyn, who is on YouTube, and you'll see her in the flush, as my mother would say, in just a moment. Shout out to my first cousin, Linnell John again, also in the building. All right, y'all, we're going to keep things going. But as we do that, let's get ready to bring up our first co-host. Our first co-host out in Hercules of California. She made me remember. I said, how am I going to remember the city? She just simply said, put her and then Q Leagues together. You'll get it. So I got it. So she is in the building. My homegirl of yours. Let's bring her up without further ado. The incredibly talented, always funny, making me laugh all the time. Ashlyn Tara Cole. Ashlyn, girl, what is going on? You're muted, but what's going on? I see you putting earrings on, and what's going on, sis? I don't hear you. I don't hear you, but I do see the bishop, my friend out in Texas, Tejas. The Bishop Charles F. Reed Jr. is in the building. What's going on, sir? Good morning, man. Glad to have you hanging out with us. Ashlyn, try it once more and again. Try it. I know you're trying to add the AirPods. I know. Try it once more and again. You muted yourself again, but let's see what happens. You there? Okay, so we're going to kick her out. We'll bring her back in just a minute. Listen, shout out again to Eloise Valerie in the building from Beaumont, Texas. Yes, glad to have you in the building with us today. Again, so many others that are joining us. I tell you what I will do. I do have another co-host that was unexpected. I was getting up and doing some things, and I got a knock at my door. Well, let me try asking one more time. Ashlyn, what about now? Say something, Ash. She's just looking at me like, no, not yet. Okay, we'll bring her back in just a minute. Listen, I was up here making some hot tea, doing the things that I do to get ready for Shop Talk. And then all of a sudden, a song rang out. I know you're like, what kind of a song? Well, I got to knock on my door. Then I got to tap on my window pane. And at the door, unbeknownst to me, I hit him up earlier. I said, hey, man, what's going on? Never got a response back. But then I got that knock at my door. Listen, in the virtual building with us today, sitting right next to me. You'll see him in just a second. You'll have to unmute yourself when you come in. But my guy's in the building. Let's bring him up. Pancho Romero in the building, bro. What is going on?
Man, what's going on, Dito? And to all of the Freedom family, we appreciate you and love you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to come out and be with the team and be part of, dare I coin a phrase, the world's greatest Supreme Team show, morning show here on Freedom Radio. And glad to be here, Dito. And thanks, man, for opening the door. I really appreciate it, man. You showing up unannounced. But my boy, he took care of me, man. I appreciate you, man.
It is all good. Glad to have Pancho in the building. Listen, y'all know if Pancho's in the building, it's going to be one of those kind of shows. Listen, we're going to bring you right back, Pancho. But before I do anything else, let me get ready to bring up my next co-host out in Charlotte of North Carolina, my homegirl. She's just come back from a tour of Rome and Italy and all these great places. She's in the building. Graphic designer extraordinaire, all around great person. Because of her mama and her daddy, she's just one of the smart people that I know. Let's bring her up without further ado. My homegirl and yours, the incredibly talented Yolanda Wild Praise Morant. Yolanda, what is going on?
What's up? Don't want to talk long. We can get the party started.
It is all as well. We're going to make some things happen. So glad to have you. I'll bring you right back in just a minute. Listen, we're trying a little bit of a different format. We'll see how it works out for us in the long run. But before we do anything else, people have been hitting me up and they ask me this all the time. Now, let me bring Pancho back up just for a second. As you can see, Pancho, bring your head down, son. Bring your head down, son. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, Pancho got his dad hat on that simply says FDR. Listen, I ain't mad at it. Listen, people have been asking me all the time, how can I be down with Freedom Radio? How can I get the gear and all this kind of stuff that you guys have? Listen, worry no more. Let me show you exactly what to do. Give me 1 second. We'll be right back, literally right after this. Hey everyone, this is Demetrius Tollfree from your favorite radio show, Shop Talk, where literally no person or subject is off limits, with some great information that you want to hear. As you know, the season is starting to change from summer to fall and winter, and we don't want you to be left out in the cold. With that said, this is a perfect time for you to get your freedom gear. We have hoodies in an array of sizes and colors, both pullover and zip up. And we recently introduced some FDR beanies that will keep your head warm as well. As an added bonus, we have added some other great items in our store, such as AirPod cases, iPhone cases, masks, wireless chargers, hats, water bottles and mugs, and of course, t-shirts. Simply go to freedomradio.com/shop or open up the Freedom Radio app on your Apple or Android device and click the FDR gear icon. Thank you so much for your continued support, and we know that freedom looks good on you. And we are back. Welcome back to Shop Talk, everyone's favorite show, right here on everyone's favorite network. All right, y'all, we're going to jump into today's show, and I have a couple things I just want to cover before we jump into all of our topics. And what we're going to do in particular, let me first of all test Ashlyn. Ashlyn, can you hear me now? You good?
I can. I had to jump. See, I have you here and I'm there, but I'm also here because for some reason my audio is not working. So I had to jump on my phone. Thank God we have options. Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen to options. So this is where I will
Absolutely.
be because I'm not sure what happened.
Okay, it's all good. We will make that happen. So you stay right there. I'll remove you from the other situation. Listen, we're going to keep things going. She said, no, don't remove her. Okay, we'll do it again then. My fault. Anyway, we've got a lot of things to cover. Again, shout out to my bro, Bishop Charles F. Reed Jr. in the building. That's my guy. All right, y'all, let's keep things going. And let's start today by doing today's National Day. And we only have three. Today's National Day, I only have three. First thing on the list is today is National Bagel Day. National Bagel Day. So those of you who like bagels and eat those kind of things, today is your day. Why don't you go out and get yourself a bagel and make things happen? Secondly, I like this one. This one is up my alley. Secondly, today is National Strawberry Ice Cream Day. Eat kana shit shata. By God, I felt that in my Ikana, felt it in my Shonda Rhimes. Listen, today is National Strawberry Ice Cream Day, right up my alley, something that I love and enjoy, and it's all to the good. Last but not least, as I bring Pancho on, today is National Hat Day. Today is National Hat Day. So if you don't have a hat or need a hat, what better hat today to get than to get you a Freedom Radio hat? The Pancho came and made himself right at home. We took out the Freedom Radio mug and all this kind of stuff. I ain't mad at him. It's all good. But that is what our national days are: Bagel Day, Strawberry Ice Cream Day, last but not least, Hat Day. All right, we're going to jump into today's birthdays. And because of the day, I am only going to do one. I'm sure there's others. Well, I'm gonna do two. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my homegirl out in Stockton, California, Cydria Clark. Today is her birthday, so shout out to her. But most importantly, today is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Today is his birthday. He was born in 1929 and passed in 1968. But today would have been his birthday. And I think today would have been his 96th birthday if he was still here with us. So I just want to take a moment, shout him out, and to say happy birthday to him. Now, I don't see Ashlyn yet, so I'm going to go ahead and make it happen and let you know, for those of you who are celebrating a birthday, whether it be today, yesterday, or anytime this week, want to give you a happy birthday shout out. As a matter of fact, I want to mention Demetrius Hunter, who we'll see in just a few moments. Yesterday was his birthday, so shout out to him. Actually, 2 days ago, I apologize. 2 days ago was his birthday, but I want to give a shout out to him as well, and to tell all of you here, from us here at Freedom Radio, we want to tell you, hey, if it's your day, it's your week, if this is your month, take some time to celebrate you. Don't wait. Now, Ashley will say, maybe wait for friends to celebrate you, but don't wait. Don't wait on people, friends, family to celebrate you. Take yourself shopping. Take yourself out to dinner. Do whatever you got to do to make things happen. But on behalf of all of us, from our hearts to yours, we want to tell you happy birthday. All right, y'all, I got a bunch of people hanging out with us I didn't get a chance to mention. Shout out to my guy out in New York, Jason Hendrickson. My guy, what is up? Glad to have you hanging out with us today. Shout out to my bro, BTK. Alan McPherson, the Bowtie King, as we call him. Today is his day to hang out with us, and he says strawberry ice cream. He does need that. I'm not mad at it. Again, yes, it is National Hat Day, my bro. Shout out to my other cousin in the building, Shannon Smith. Shannon, what is going on? Glad to have you hanging out with us. Arletta Williams Bass, what is going on? Glad to have you hanging out with us, and I did my best trying to play the organ this past Sunday at Lily. Glad to have you hanging out with us. Oh my God. From Georgia, Poncho, a name that we haven't seen in a long time. I got to bring Poncho on the stage. Poncho, we got Linda Clark in the building today. Man,
I don't even know what to say, but I'm just so glad to see you, Linda.
yeah, we are glad to have her hanging out with us. Shout out to Linda Clark, also in the virtual building. All right, I think we have Ashlyn back. Ashlyn, can you see us here now?
I can.
Okay. Is that a bagel?
I got inspired.
Oh, okay.
You said it was National Bagel Day.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is
I got
National
inspired. So cheers to National
Awesome.
Bagel Day.
Glad to have you back hanging out with us. We're bringing Yolanda back with us. What is up, Yolanda? Glad to have you. Now, get ready to move forward. We're going to go back to the city of Hercules, up the street, around the corner. Knock on that red door. We've got my guy in the building. Shout out to the comedian Mo Jones in the building. He and my guy, Lavelle, brother. They go back like four flats on a Cadillac. Anyway, let's get ready to bring up my guy. Jacory Proto is in the building. Jacory,
I can't stand him.
Where did you go without me?
I can't stand
You're
him.
muted, first of all.
I can't stand him.
You're
You're on
muted.
mute.
Unmute yourself.
You hear me now?
Uh-huh.
I had to get something good.
Where'd you go? What'd you get?
I can't tell you. You know, we can't tell the world how we smell. So I'm just going to say that I got something that's real good.
I can't
Okay,
hear.
somewhere or another we're getting an echo.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, are you on these devices?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna remove Poncho. Did that fit?
I don't hear an echo. I don't hear an echo at all.
I did.
Oh, I don't hear an echo.
I mean, I only have one now.
Oh, the audio
Okay,
sounds
let's
great
check
to
them
me.
out.
It sounds great to me.
No, I still hear the echo. Okay, everybody hanging out with us. If you hear the echo, type in echo in the chat. If you hear it, type echo in the chat.
Still there.
Yeah, still there.
I don't know.
Still there. Okay. So let me try to fix something. It could. I hope it's me. Let's see. No.
Started when Ash came on. Thanks, Paul. My fault.
Okay. Let's remove Ashlyn. Now let's see. The echo is gone. Ashlyn is the culprit. We can bring Jacory back. We can bring Poncho back. We can bring, I believe, Yolanda's gone. So Ashlyn is the culprit. So Ashlyn, you're going to have to do something to fix that. While you're doing that, shout out to Lady AJ Nears, who was in the building. Thank you for that. Thank y'all for letting us know. Pastor Paul McCreary in the building. What is going on, sir? Glad to have you hanging out. Shout out to Robin Doss in the building as well. And thank you, Lady AJ. So Ashlyn is definitely the culprit. So we will figure it out. Here go Mo. We're talking about somebody on their flip phone. I can't. Anyway, it's one of those type of days. We've got some things happening, and we're going to keep things going. Now, in doing so, now, Jacory, you was about to tell us you went to Louis Vuitton. I saw the receipt.
Yes, sir. So, you started something, had me going in that store. I had to go and visit while I was in Vegas. So, I'm going to be smelling good. So that means I can stand next to you.
I'm not mad at you. Did you get the preferred fragrance that we talked about?
And my mother is. How about my mother is interested in the one that your wife only wears once a year?
I'm not mad at you. It is all good. Hey, well, man, I know it's a different feeling. I actually have some on me now. I don't know, and we even got some oil too to add to it. So we got to talk offline.
Oh yeah,
because I'm trying to do what I can to make things happen. So, and depending on what you got, I might be able to get something that also help with that fragrance that you got, man. So we'll talk real soon when we get off of here. So let's get ready to bring. We've got Yolanda back now. Lastly, we do have another guest. We'll get Ashton back in just a moment. Let's get ready to bring up our next co-host. And the next co-host that we're bringing up is out in the ATL of Georgia. I still believe that is where he is. And you know how it is. He is the only person on our show, especially since it's his birthday time, that has his own theme music. Let's get ready to play it. Those of you who keep up with it, you know all about this from BMF, the theme song from BMF, because the main character name is Big Meech. We here at Shop Talk have our own Big Meech. Let's get ready to bring him up without further ado. My guy, Demetrius Hunter, in the building. Demetrius, man, what is going on?
Hello, my voice. It's a little gone. Good morning. Hello, everybody. My voice.
Good morning. Hey, man, glad to have you on the show. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to try to bring Ashton up one more time. Ashton. Say something.
Something.
I still got the echo.
It's bad.
You got to do something. Where your AirPods?
Bye. Have a great show. Love y'all.
No, she didn't. No, I'm just
yes, she just did.
I didn't see what I thought I saw. Anyway, shout out to David Jones in the building as well, and so many others who are joining us. My guy Bishop Reed said that he needs some theme music. Hey, every good hero should have some. You understand me? And Demetrius being our resident hero, man, he got his own theme music. It's all good. Shout out to Tracy J. Wilson, also in the building. All right, y'all, we've got some things to talk about. Let's jump in right now. First of all, this coming Monday is officially Martin Luther King Day. It is a holiday. I even have the day off of work, but it's also Inauguration Day as we get ready to inaugurate a new president that was formally elected somehow by a landslide, y'all, in November. This coming Monday is his inauguration. We bring back President Donald J. Trump into office officially on Monday. Ja'Cory, man, this is big. I mean, we in California did all that we could. We did all that we could. It was definitely we did our part. But tell me what you're thinking about the fact that inauguration is on MLK Day, and that we're putting in this particular president. Man, what's your thought on that?
I'm not participating, but I don't think I really have a choice. You can still have to watch, fight, and pray. So you still have to be in tune to what's going on. But I actually, somebody was telling me last night that Michelle Obama is not going. So does that mean her husband is not going?
Now that part I did not hear. I did hear that she's not going. But yeah, so I'm not exactly sure if he's going to be. I'm going to assume now that there's been a lot of things looming. Now I'm not into politics. I'm not a politician in any kind of way. Shout out to my guy Leroy Carr, the pastor Leroy Carr, out in Las Vegas in the building. I'm pretty sure he's going. Now we just had President Carter's funeral. I think it was last week. The final funeral. There were several. The final funeral was last week in Washington D.C. And a lot of things was going on in the news as we saw President Obama sitting next to President Trump with our current vice president sitting in front, giving gas faces and all kinds of things. I don't know. I didn't get all the details of what happened, but it was pretty popular on Instagram and Facebook, social media, everywhere. And I agree with Bishop Reed that as a former president, he is supposed to go. Whether Michelle goes or not, we will find out. But it's very interesting that particular day is when it's going to happen. Again, shout out to Pastor John Greathouse out in Stockton, California. Yes, it is happening on MLK Day. Pancho, this is an incredible day that's happening coming Monday, man. What is your thought on what's going to happen on Monday?
You know, that's a great question, Dito. You know what? I think that it just happened to fall on MLK Day. I would really wish that maybe they could have moved it to another particular day so that we can give honor to MLK and for all the things that he's done and meant to so many people over the years. And I was thinking about that this morning, Dito. Do you know that just me and you, man, we just missed Dr. King by a year or two, man. And except for an assassin's bullet for him and and the Kennedy brothers, man, we would have been able to see these people living. Unfortunately, they were gone before we got here, man. But we definitely give honor to him. It would have been better if he moved it to the 21st, if you ask me.
I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you on the fact that probably should have been a different day. But man, that's the day it fell on, and what can we do but say, hey, what it is, what it is. Demetrius, man, you out in Georgia in one of those swing states that many people call it. It wasn't always a swing state, but now has become a swing state, as it could swing either way, man. This coming Monday, something big is happening, man. What's your thought on it, bro?
It just is what it is. I mean, we tried. We got our fill. We voted. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just don't have any words. I'm just like, just waiting to see what's going to happen. Because there's so much that this man has planned or talked about and then backtracked and said no. And it's like he did different things to sway votes to get people to jump on board. But I ain't for it. I ain't got no support for him.
I'm with you on that, man. It's something else. Yolanda, if my memory serves me correct, this particular election, your state where you live, now my phone never rings until I get on Shop Talk. Anyway, this particular last time in 2020, your state, if my memory serves me correct, went Democratic, or was very close. It was very close between the two. But this time, the state where you live now went completely Republican, and now this coming Monday, we have a brand new president in office. Just from you're the only female with us today. Tell me what your thought is on that.
So here's my actual thought. Well, a thought that I saw from Martin Luther King's daughter. She said something that I have to wow. And I think this is huge because it's coming from his actual child. And she said, the inaugurations on this, I know people feel split. She said, but in truth, I encourage you to watch both. I encourage you to participate in both things. Either, watch the inauguration and then come back and watch the things about my father, or vice versa. And, it sounds like, why would you encourage that? This is thing about your father. Your father did so many things for us as people, country. But she said something I highly agree with. She said, we need to know the information. We need to know what he said, what he spoke to, what he responded to. And I agree with that. I think as believers, it causes you to know what to pray for. And if you may not be subscribed to one particular thing, I just think we need to be aware. I think a lot of times we try to turn our ear off to certain things because it makes us uncomfortable, or this or this or that. But how can you know how to move? You don't know what was said. So I know we don't like it, and I know it makes us uncomfortable, but it's out of our control at this point.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you get mad? Do you yell? Do you fight? It's out of our control. It's the only thing we can. God is my president, so I'm good with it. So the only thing you can do is make sure. No, I mean I'm serious, because at the end of the day, he's only going to be there 4 years. What damage can? I'm not saying he can't be damaged. I'm just saying either we trust God or we don't. In that sense of faith, right? But I agree with her. I think it's, and not because she said it, but I think it speaks volumes that his own daughter said that. So
yeah, I'm with you. I think it's something else. I mean, obviously, we'll all see what's going to happen and how everything is affected starting Monday. But I'm sure everyone will know, if you're going to watch it, it's going to be pretty much on every major network. And we will be able to watch it if we choose, or do what we do otherwise, be on social media or do whatever else is necessary. Let me give a quick shout out to my homegirl, who I got a chance to see on Sunday face to face, and even play a couple notes behind her. The incredible Alfreda Lyons Campbell is in the building. And she said, the people didn't vote for Kamala as we thought. His numbers really didn't change too much. She says she didn't have the time as he did. Some people didn't want a black female president, yet at the end of the day, we got with him before, and God will carry us through again. I'm with it. I love that, Alfreda. Thanks for that information. And she also says that she won't be watching, that she will be at work. It's all to the good. Listen, we're going to keep things going, and we're going to move on to our next subject. We're trying to a little bit of something different based on what our hosts have been telling me and different people. We want to try something different. And so now we're getting ready to jump into our next subject, and that is in Los Angeles, y'all, in the city of Los Angeles. All of us have been watching. Our hearts, our prayers, our thoughts, our minds have all been focused on the fires in Los Angeles, California, the Pasadena, Altadena area. I believe it's the Palisades is another correct name of the area. I'm familiar with the area. I have a lot of friends that are from that area. And man, I'm telling you, it's just rough seeing all the things that's going on in that area. Shout out to Adrienne Johnson. We call her Auntie Pooey. She is in the building. If I didn't shout out earlier, Pastor Bill Carter from Sacramento in the building, and so many people hanging out with us today. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Pastor John Greathouse in Stockton. And yes, we are praying for all of those families, all of those people that have been displaced because of the fires. And as I was just kind of looking around and reading and found out today that 10 churches have been lost in this particular fire. Thousands of homes, but the churches in particular also. We don't talk about this much on social media, or we don't talk about it on the mainstream news, but we lost 10 houses of worship in this fire. That to me is also very, very significant. And what I was reading, was that the LA fire departments were not really at all prepared for such a thing, meaning that they were severely understaffed. And so what is going on, I've been seeing other fire departments drive down and assist and do what they can to make things happen. But I mean, this is a lot. I don't know if the Los Angeles area has seen devastation to this magnitude. And so as many people, shout out to my guy, Elder Michael Washington from Glad Tidings, living out in Antioch. He's with us today, and he says, yes, he's praying for LA as well as so many of us. Listen, I want to just know, Yolanda, I'll start with you this time as you are our female of the day. I do see Ashlyn trying to get in again. Let me try. Ashlyn, are you ready, or can you say something?
Something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I still get an echo. I still get an echo. I'm gonna put you backstage. You work on that. Yolanda, currently hanging out with us as our resident female. We'll bring Ashley back as soon as we can. The fact that all these fires are happening, LA is understaffed in terms of firemen and all this kind of stuff. I've seen this kind of devastation, but not to this degree. We had a fire like this. What year was that? 89? 1989, we had fires like that here in the Bay Area, but not to this level of devastation. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this, but tell me, Yolanda, what is your thought on this whole fire situation and the things that's going on in Los Angeles area?
I don't want to speak out of turn because I don't live there and I don't know all the back end. I have a lot of friends that live there. People like, we probably have mutual friends like the Mike Farrells and musicians and, all that kind of stuff. I think at the end of the day, I think it's beautiful how so many people are pulling together. Shout out to Pastor Chad Brown. He's working on something for the area, and a lot of celebrities. I saw the comedian Miss Jennifer Lewis. She was pulling out clothes from a car. Halle Berry, has donated. I mean, I think it's beautiful how people are coming together on the latter, the hard, tough men. I think it's very concerning that that those insurance agencies kill those people's policies. I mean, just I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I just think there's high questions that should be asked. Like, why did they do that? Why did they do that? And then the fires occurred. It just doesn't kind of add up. Why weren't the fire departments prepared when you know that you're in a climate that gets pretty dry? These fires have happened before, maybe not to this magnitude. But I think it just
Yeah.
speaks volumes about kind of what's going on, and I think there should be a lot deeper questions asked. Um, but then I think I try not to go in, the Jesus factor because you want to be sensitive to what's going on, and I do agree that you should be sensitive. And so, like, Jesus burnt it all down. I mean, that's super, super insensitive. I just think at the end of the day, it's really sad, and we should do all we can. Whether you're sharing information, you see something, you share it, you give. Every dollar counts.
Yeah,
And just keep praying for the people. But it indeed is. I think it's unbelievable too, right?
yeah,
Like we don't believe this is really happening. You know, several blocks have burnt down, shopping centers have burnt down, and then there's a story circulating. My last article circulating. The story circulating about a guy whose entire neighborhood burnt down, but his house.
yeah,
His house is
Mhm.
the only house that didn't burn down. So how do you explain that? But the insurance part is very troubling. Like, how do
hmm
you pay thousands and thousands of dollars for years into a policy, and then they tell you they they kill it, and then the fires happen. That's just
yeah.
unheard
I'm with you, and it's amazing how this whole things have come together to make things happen. It's amazing that all of these things are how it has happened. Let me try Ashlyn one more time. She's back on her phone. Ashlyn, what about now?
I don't know. What about now?
No echo. Okay, you're back. Perfect. You're
Lord
you're
Jesus,
in
it's a
now.
fire.
While I
Okay.
have you,
In
Ashley,
Jesus' name.
you are from the Bay Area, like the rest, like most of us.
Hmm.
You. I'm sure you were born in 1989, right? Yeah. So I'm sure you remember the devastation from the fires. That was that 89. What was the earthquake?
Yeah,
Earthquake was
89.
89.
When
October,
was the
The
fires?
fire
October,
was in the 90s.
October 1989.
Okay, so that means the fires are in like 92, 93, 94, somewhere around there. Anyway, I'm sure you remember the devastation from
Hmm.
both the earthquake as well as the devastation that came from the Oakland Hills fires and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just give me your thought on that, as well as what you think about what's going on with the fires in LA and how it's being handled.
Yeah, I mean, there really are no words to describe it, honestly. I think that it was Aaron Lindsay that got on Instagram, and he said to stop praying for rain. And people were so confused, like, why? We don't you need rain to stop these fires? And the way that he explained it is, when you have fire and houses and trees and all that, it leaves a lot of ash. And if we were to have rain right now, there's houses that have survived the fires that in past has been wiped out by mudslides. And people don't necessarily understand that in California we have mountains, we've got hills. It's not a flat state. And so when we have the rains, although it might put the fires out or help to put the fires out, it can cause mudslides, which can cause horrendous damage to people who are already suffering. So I think it's devastating. It's just devastating. I will actually be in LA for NAM. NAM is happening in a couple weeks, so I'll be down there for that, and also
Next next week.
next
Next
week.
week.
Sorry, next week. And the Grammys are still happening in LA. They have decided to go forward with that. But what they've done is they've canceled all the extracurricular parties that go along with the Grammys. Like they're not doing
Yeah.
a pre-party or the after party. And they've asked that other people that normally throw those big, very expensive parties, that they not do that and that they donate funds to the rebuilding. Now, I will say this last point. I think that it's very interesting. There is a conspiracy theory going on that Gavin Newsom is somehow involved in this, which is very interesting. I don't know if you all have heard any of this, but there is a plan for 2028 called LA 2.0, which is in preparation for the Olympics. And if you look at the rail um, proposal that they laid out on a map, it exactly follows the fires. And so there's a conspiracy out there that these fires were somehow set, which to me is crazy. I mean, I can understand because it's such an overwhelming disaster that it's hard to imagine that, for people of faith, that God would allow something like this to happen. Now,
Yeah.
it's like we still have to remember that God is in control, but he gave us free will. And so if we throw a cigarette out the window of a car next to the dry grass, that could cause a fire. Did God make you throw the thing out the window to cause the fire? No, he gave us free will. So there are things that we can do to be safe, to prevent. Not saying that anybody did anything wrong, but if there's anything that we can learn from this, it's we have to be more prepared. We're such a reactive society. Instead of being prepared in advance for things, we just wait for things to happen and then we react. So I think if there's anything that we can learn from this, about insurance, about upkeep of the landscape around these areas, we can definitely learn from this.
Can I
I'm
add
with you.
one, like 10 seconds of what you just said? 'Cause I don't want to lose this thought. Number one, I put nothing past nobody in the day that we're in. Okay, nothing. So I don't. I'm not a conspiracy. I don't put nothing past nobody. I can totally see that someone started a fire because they wanted whatever. But the other part, actually, this that I agree is that we are pretty. The person who just came from another country, they're not as reactive as we are actually. And so I agree with her. And what to add to the thought without like losing my thought, to add to it, not only your insurance but like emergency kits. Like I
That's
think
right.
my mama, bless her soul, she used to say, Yolanda, get you some candles, girl. You got some candles under your sink. Why don't you have? Because she was always thinking, something could happen. Your life could go out. So I think in this time, this is a perfect time to stock up on water, emergency kits in your house because we can't think. Although we don't want anything to happen to us, and I hope nothing happens to us. You really in truth don't know. So it's a perfect time to make you an emergency kit for your house and just
Mm,
put it somewhere, extra water and things like that. Because I think some of the things that happened was they didn't have emergency kits. They didn't have things to go to do. That's not their fault.
Yeah.
Putting things in a safe, things like that. People lost very precious things that
yeah.
are not able to be recreated. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good,
I'm with you.
Yolanda. And you know what? There are some people that stayed to fight and save their homes. But imagine if more people had stayed home to try to fight the fires. We would have a greater number of loss, I believe. I believe that there are some people that fled right away that wish they hadn't, but I think that we would have had more loss of life had more people stayed, to fight the fires. That's just my humble opinion, but I'm grateful that it wasn't, disastrous where we lost lives, many, many, many lives in this fire.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I appreciate all the comments as well as I want to make reference to my good friend, Pastor James Bobo Jr. from Modesto, who was in the building, who mentioned that he wanted to make sure that he's sending prayers for displaced families in SoCal. And David Jones mentioned, he said, shout out to Pastor Scoggins, Leon Scoggins in particular, of Life City Church, whose team drove to LA to take them and deliver some things down there as well. And then lastly, I want to mention my homegirl, Sunny Vaughn. She says we also need to bring awareness to the underprivileged that are suffering from these devastating fires. She said resources are needed and air quality is a major issue. We need to stay prayerful, but we also need to find ways to respond financially. And then last, Bishop Reed mentioned the fact that it is bad that we are reactive as a people rather than being proactive. I love
Yes.
all of these comments. Thank you all for hanging out with us to make this happen. Listen, we're going to keep things going. I have one other thing I want to talk about and see where we end up. But first of all, again, I want to thank all of you who are hanging out with us. We did have a couple of technical difficulties. Seem like we have now worked those out. Thank you, Ashlyn, for working feverishly to work that out and get back with us today. Again, shout out to all of our partnering radio stations around the country that play Shop Talk. I do not take for granted the mere fact that they have been so nice, so kind to allow this show to be on their networks and allowing us to bring this particular message to their listeners. With that being said, all right, y'all social media gurus and people who keep up with all this kind of stuff, this coming, I want to say Monday as well, is a big thing happening in social media. Or maybe the date is Friday. You all can correct me, but TikTok, social media giant. TikTok is in the news in the mere fact that they are on the cusp of being banned. Yes, I do go through this through my thesaurus, and I did pay attention to English class to know different words. So yes, I do watch a lot of media news. So TikTok is on the cusp, CUSP, on the cusp of being banned, specifically here in the United States. TikTok, we know, is a major player, especially with younger folks around the country. Although I do see older people using it as well. I just downloaded TikTok about 6 weeks ago. Anyway, I have never made a post. I don't know nothing much about it, but they are on. They are potentially going to be banned depending on what happens in the next couple of days. And I've already been reading that if they are banned, they're preparing to take themselves out of commission as early as this coming Sunday. So, Ja'Cory, I want to reach out to you. I'll start with you, then Demetrius, I'll come to you and work my way back around. But first of all, will it have an effect personally on you? And if not, do you even care about what's going on with TikTok?
Me personally, I mean, I have TikTok, and it's one of my last resources that I go to put some videos on. But I think in them banning it, for me, I think it'll aid because I'm not my grandkids, but my nieces and nephews, and they think that TikTok is the next big break, and that it's just like the lottery. It doesn't happen for everybody. It's just another platform that you can be seen. And at the end of the day, if they banned it, they're just going to recreate something else at some point and open and put it out. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I'm with you, man. I'm not mad at it. Demetrius, I know you're traveling in just a few moments, but I want to get your opinion on this, man. TikTok could potentially be banned and blocked as early as this weekend. What is your thought? Again, is it going to have a personal effect on you in any case, or what is your opinion?
I'm not a TikToker. I mean, I've had TikTok. I may have maybe 5 or 6 videos on there, but it's not really my go-to thing. It's just not the thing for me. So if it's here or not, it's not going to affect me or my social media enjoyment. So they can take it off and I'll be cool.
I'm with you, man. I'm not mad at it. Now, Pancho, now I know you're not a big social media person, man, but do you keep up with TikTok, and what's your thought on this whole thing?
And Detail, no, actually, I don't keep up with TikTok. But I mean, I know it's very popular, and I see, how others use it and how it can be beneficial to people. I know that it has already been proven, as far as I know, that it's already been proven that TikTok was largely owned by Chinese corporations, and they already know about the threat of being banned. And from what I understand, they've already created a platform to take the place of TikTok. It's called Red Notes, as far as I know, and that was reported in the news this week. But for me, myself, man, I have no dog in this fight, man, either way. So if they take it off, it won't be no loss to me, man. I still got to pay my rent at 4400 Keller Avenue.
There you go.
Man, I hear you. I'm with you all the way on that. At the end of the day, I still got to pay my rent and make things happen. Yolanda, I know that you are more of out of all of us, you and Ashlyn are more of the people who stay on social media, probably the most for business reasons, personal reasons, whatever it may be. But in your opinion, is this going to have any type of repercussions to what you do? And if so, what will you do in the meantime? So tell me what your thoughts are.
I think we can all stay right here together. Let's pray together. All right. So I don't think it'll have an effect on me as a person. I mean, that speaks volumes if it does. I don't think it'll have effect on my business. I've connected with people there. But I think there's some information we need to do our homework. And so, you need to say, don't believe everything you got to do your research. So don't believe everything you hear. I saw some things about TikTok today. Number one, they're working on its 270-day extension. Number two, TikTok, if it's, from what I understand, some things I saw this morning, if it's already on your phone, they can't like take it off your phone. So let's say the banning happens. If you try to download TikTok after Sunday and it's banned, the app won't be there. If it's already on your phone, though, there's nothing that they can do. But the app may slow down. That may be, so may cause like just like an irritation because it may be possibly slow down. I think there's going to be some components that may not be available anymore. That kind of thing. Red Note, as Mr. Poncho said, is already there. But the thing is, Note is in Chinese. So they were talking about people are learning Mandarin in order to communicate with the app and things
Wow.
like that. This
Okay.
is my if one app unsettles your whole life, then you have other concerns you need to talk about, right?
True.
But I will say this: there are people who have made a substantial amount of money through TikTok. There are
Hmm.
creators. I'm not one of those people, but there are creators who they have built a huge world with TikTok. They have thousands and thousands of followers and things of that nature. But I will say, y'all be on TikTok all day, like 24/7, just like at 3 in the morning. Because I'm up working at 3 in the morning, you on TikTok. So I don't know. I just think you got to do your homework. But I do say shout out to the man the CEO of TikTok. I think it is what I saw this morning concern me. The way they are grilling him and pulling him down, and there was a meeting he was in, and they were like, "So, are you a communist?" And he's like, "No." Are you sure? I'm like, what does that have to do with the app? Which makes me feel like there's a larger thing going on, right? The fact that the government is concerned about a app like this. To me, we're not paying attention. Why do you care about an app? And
Yeah.
and then they brought all the CEOs together of these apps to apologize to families that had lost children because of online harassment. Maybe we don't have time for that today. My personal opinion: it is your responsibility to care for your children. No disrespect to anyone that lost a child, but if your child, you should care for what's going on with your child. I have a cousin. Her kids did not have access to social media for years. She didn't allow her kids to have it at all. She knew what was on her kids' phone. If they put something on their phone that they shouldn't, she got alerts to her phone. So I think it's your responsibility to ensure what your kids are in play. I get it, you can't watch them, as they get older, maybe 24 hours a day. But that just speaks to me. I think it's large. I think it's bigger than the app. I think there's a larger something happening that we're not paying attention to.
Hmm. I like that thought process. I'm not mad at it. Ashlyn, last but not least, talking about TikTok and the fact that it may potentially be banned over the weekend. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I have been encouraged by my management team and other people to monetize on TikTok, but I just never got into it. It was to me, it was very fast paced, and it was a lot of transactions. And I'm not really, my ministry is not transactional. And so it just never really appealed to me. So it won't bother me none. But I do feel for people that are monetized on there that may lose that income. Now I do want to take this opportunity to talk to you all about Fan Base. Freedom Radio and is a black owned radio station. Demetrius Tolfree. And Fan Base is a black owned app that is gaining momentum. It's brand new, and you can actually invest in it now, which is really, really super important if you want to be part of the future. You could buy stock in different things. If this is a startup, it's number 7, I believe, on the social media apps right now, which is amazing. And the CEO and founder and creator is Isaac Hayes the third. And I've been following him and watching his story, and I've been doing some research, and I plan on investing in Fanbase. But check it out for yourself. I am endorsing it for myself. I'm not getting paid to endorse it, but I have been doing my research to see what other options there are. Because honestly, I've been frustrated with social media, generally speaking, because I don't know what's real and what's not real. And it's very frustrating because I'll look at a post and I will think it's real. For example, the fires. Somebody had posted a team of firefighters from South Africa that were coming over to help with the fires, and they were singing in the airport. And I thought it was absolutely beautiful. But the post was, South African firefighters come to help LA in the fires. And it was making it seem like it was current day. So I reposted it, and I was corrected that that was not the case. And so it's just one example. Now, that's not a big deal. But if there's medical information that's out there that's false, if there's speculation about something that's false, you've got people talking and doing videos that are not actual real human beings. So it's gotten to be a place of falsehood, and it doesn't feel safe to me. Safe for myself as a single woman, safe for our children, for them to get their education from social media, which they do. And so I'm happy to integrate out of the current social media, um, platforms, and invest in something that I can have ownership in, something that I can actually invest and be part of the building of a new social media app.
I'm with you. And there is another black owned social media app that is out there. I don't use it as often. I'm still trying to learn. My life does not allow me time to sit and fool around with social media to that degree. But another black owned social media app is called Spill, traditionally spelled Spill. Spill. It is, and it's based around uh, different topics. Kind of has a Twitter type feel, but is more so based around memes and things of that nature. It can be fun, it can be funny, and it also can be serious and life changing when you have time to take a look at it. So those of you who may want to check out, again, the app is called Spill. I think at one point you needed an invitation. I remember Marcus Phillips, Bay Area basis, uh, invited me. But if you are interested, that is another one. So we have fan base that Ashley mentioned that Yolanda particularly is in the fan base, a fan of the fan base. But there is also Spill, Spill, as another option to make things happen. And thank you, Ashley. She's typed in there that allows you to monetize content on day one. Thank you for that information. That is great to know. And I want to just throw up on here what Bishop Reed said a little bit earlier. He was talking about Cash App, and we were talking about this stuff. He said the Cash App suddenly deactivated his church and personal accounts, and he said it was not fun at all. We talked last week in brief about artists making sure that they have all kinds of avenues for receiving money. And I believe either Yolanda or someone mentioned that Cash App was not their go-to, or that they had some issues with Cash App. But one of them, someone mentioned that. And so I see different people. Our church has gone away from Cash App recently, and we still use other means to do that. So I think we still use PayPal. We don't have Zelle yet, but we do use the particular app that most people use, which is, I forgot, Givelify. So we use Givelify for our church as our main way for us to give digitally. But listen, we're almost out of time. Before we go around the horn real quick, Ja'Cory, anything that's going on, or anything that we want to mention that we can find you in the near future?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna be singing in the living room, but I did want to say that in these moments, I'm seeing a lot of people want notoriety and what they're doing, want visibility, but the unseen things are what count when it comes to God. So it's not necessarily I don't need to be seen helping. Long as I'm doing it, God sees.
I love it. Great stuff. Pancho, going around the room, man. Any final comments? Last thought.
Hey, just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be here again, Detoll. And just really quick, there's nothing impossible. As a matter of fact, the very word spells I'm possible.
Okay, Pancho, come on in, brother. Appreciate that. We'll get Ashton back in just a minute, but Yolanda Moran, any closing comments, final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to offer a thought. After first, I totally agree with Jacory. The Bible talks about He rewards you, publicly for what you do privately. So, most times you have to do things with the right heart, the right capacity, and then God will do His magic. To, I can say something about AI. The best way to tell if something is real or fake, you gotta pay attention. So if their mouth moves a certain way, you just gotta slow down and pay attention. If the voice feels unauthentic, trust your body sense. I know it's not real, but trust your intuition. If it doesn't feel right, it just doesn't feel right. Do your research. Don't
Yeah.
assume because you saw it posted somewhere that it's true. Do your research. Find out for yourself. So you're not taking something you shouldn't take, going somewhere you shouldn't go. Don't assume. Do your research. You can do
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Thank you for that. Ashton, last but not least, any closing comments, final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to invite everybody. Saturday, January 18th will be the Ricky Dillard with Choir Praise Fest. That's going to feature our own Lawrence Matthews, Anthony Washington, and Levitical Movement. Master of Ceremonies, Pastor Greg Hunter. I'm not sure why it's not detailed, but that's okay. We love Greg Hunter just the same. It's going to be in Oakland, California at Love Center, and you can search Eventbrite and look for Praise Fest. I will be there, so I'll look for you.
Absolutely, as well as that same concert, different artists will be in Stockton the night before, I believe, night before, night after, 1 to 2. But Praise Fest is also coming to Stockton as well. And Tamara Edwards will be the host for that particular one. And we look forward to hearing about that as well. Listen, we're not out of conversation. We're only out of time. So on behalf of Jacory and Ashlyn in Hercules of California, Yolanda Morant in Charlotte, North Carolina, Pancho Romero, myself, here in Oakland, California, Demetrius Hunter from the airport in New York. To the next time on this same Shop Talk Network at this same Shop Talk time. You know how we do it. You can help me say it. I'll holla.